Let me show you another area of my yard. This is in front of my house. This was all rock. When we moved here, everything was rock. There wasn't one flower bed. I put perennials in here. Here's my little fountain. I love my little fountain. My chickens have attacked my tulips. Those are my tulips. They're done blooming, but they've attacked them. Got some hostas. This is a climbing hydrangea. I don't know if it'll ever bloom. I hope so. I put some annuals in here for some color, okay, because the perennials will only provide color for so long. Here's one of our huge, gigantic rocks we were blessed with. And the iris. Oh my goodness. Are those beautiful or what? Absolutely gorgeous. Here's one of my lawn ornaments. There's a place in Michigan up by Traverse City that sells just all kinds of cool lawn ornaments, and that's one of them. I had to have that. Gorgeous. I just planted some containers for the porch. Here's one. It's just an old bucket. Yep, an old wooden whiskey barrel kind of thing. Got that planted. And then got my little hummingbird in there. Then over here I did another one with a different color scheme. Red, yellow, orange. So in container gardening, here's the thing to keep in mind with containers. 3 things. You should have a filler. No, sorry, a thriller. A thriller. Thriller is something tall, something showy, something that's gonna, kind of take the center stage. Then you need a filler. Okay, these little bells is gonna fill in. And then you need a spiller. So this vine, this ivy vine, is going to be my spiller. So if you remember those 3 things: thriller, filler, spiller. And then I just threw in some other things for color. So I like to come up with a color palette. Like this one, the red, the yellow, the orange. It was super pretty. I do a lot of pinks and purples. I'll show you some of those later. But I really just had to get out here to show you these iris and the beauty of those iris. Those have never bloomed before. Okay? They're brand new. They've been in here a couple years, but this is the first year they've bloomed. I think I have a yellow somewhere. Maybe this is the one I'm thinking was yellow. But it's gorgeous. This one over here is yet to bloom, so I'm interested to see what color that one is. So there's the front. I decided to attach this video to the other one just because it's outside and it's my yard. I did have some people interested in my fairy gardens. So let me show you. Here is an old antique wheelbarrow. Been around, I don't even know how long. This fairy garden is what I had left over from last year. That's how it came through the winter. That's what it looked like. I am about to take everything out of this fairy garden and redo it completely. A lot of this stuff has been in here for several years. All of the plant life you see in there is really just weeds at this point. I think this one back here, this one right here is an actual plant that I planted. But everything else is weeds. See, everything's just kind of falling over. Look at, very down. Anyhow, it's all faded and just nasty. And I think I'm just going to end up throwing most of it away. All right. But I thought I would show you at least this one, because this is the first one I want to do. It even needs to be leveled. If you can see, it's like, it's crooked in the flower bed. It's fallen over, kind of. So it needs to be leveled up, and it just needs to be redone. All that stuff that I bought at Michael's is going to go in here. I'll take you on a shopping trip. Maybe one day this week I'm going to go shopping, and we'll look for some of the little plants I like to put in here and stuff. That's always fun to shop for the fairy plants. And I'll show you how I fix this up and make it all cutesy again. Yeah, that'll be on a video coming up real soon. I'll finish this up and show you how we do it. Alright, see you in a little bit. Alright, so I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I emptied out the wheelbarrow of everything. I took out even the plant, but I did save some of that plant right over here, a few little hunks of it that I could put back in here. sparingly. Now this was covered with moss, and you can still see there's some moss in here. Here's some moss, and here's some moss. I didn't pick all of that moss out. I just dug it up, broke it up with a shovel, raked it up, busted it up as much as I could. The moss will probably come back because this is a pretty shady part of our yard. All right, so I have a little bit of plant there I'm going to try to save. This bucket here is going to just be trash. Broken deer, rusted metal pieces, just trash. Here's some things I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. The house itself is all faded, and I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I have another one inside. I don't know. We'll see. In the bucket is some little things, like little animals, frogs and cats and bunnies, and I think I'll keep those. I did take out my rocks, and I have those saved, set aside. And then there's a little collection of fairies and gnomes, and I don't know. They're all just faded, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with those when I get the stuff that's inside. We'll see. Of course, I'm going to keep my little camper. That's my MSU camper. Yeah, I got to keep him. So here's what I got so far. And looks like it's time to go shopping for some plants and get into all the knick-knacky things in the basement. Yay. So we're hunting for fairy plants. We're shopping. So these are kind of cool. This grows tall, kind of tree-like, which is neat. Okay. These could be like a little bush by a house, and they're fuzzy. They're kind of cool. They're fuzzy. They're neat. All right. Little more bushing kind of plant. Yeah, all right. Down here, okay, this just goes and goes and goes, you guys. We're at a greenhouse that just has so much of this stuff, it's crazy. These are kind of cool. They look a little dangerous, a little spiky, but they make little bushes. Pretty cool. And then my daughter just showed me these guys, and these are awesome. These, look, they look like a little cabbage. A little cabbage in here. But then they get these shoots with flowers. And then she brought me this guy. This is awesome. They're all succulents, and these get a little pink flower on them. They're awesome. So these are the kinds of things I look for when I do my fairy gardens. And this just goes and goes and goes, you guys. There's rows and rows of this stuff. Oh, here's something very tree-like. Big tree, kind of. Isn't that cool? It's awesome. So this is the kind of stuff I look for when I'm doing my fairy gardens. These are nifty too. Look at these guys. Oh my goodness. They're like, oh look at their little stars. And then they, whoa, that's cool. See, succulents are awesome, you guys. I've never seen so many succulents in my life. Last year when I bought succulents, I didn't find half of these varieties. But look, it just, all the way down the end of this aisle, like all the way down there. There's my daughter down there. All the way down there. This is all just succulents. So stay tuned and see what all I picked up. All right. All right. So here's what I ended up with for plants. This I got at like Lowe's or someplace. Nice tall tree-like structure. These can all be little bushes. This one I remember the name is called Bear Claw. And these things will be like spreading. This one will spread, these will spread. These should stay kind of like this, just a little bush kind of thing. This is kind of cool, like a tall, short tree sort of thing. This will spread, and here's this cool thing with a spiky flower, and they both have it. There's two different kinds. And then this is going to be for my other fairy garden, which is a beech. So that is a perfect palm tree. So here's some of the plants I bought. Here's my little collection. And here's some rocks I saved from the wagon. The wheelbarrow, not a wagon. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the hardscape. Yes, the hardscape. So let's get over there and do that. So we start with the hardscape, like I said. I did decide to use that fairy house again because without it, this would have been pretty empty. Here's a new thing, the little gazebo back there on the bench. And then I just use rocks from my yard. Okay, I have rocks all over my yard. Here's a little arbor. We're going to make that cute in a minute. And this is going to be my little woodsy camping area over here. So I pick up rocks from my driveway, make little paths, have a little fire pit there. It's not quite to size. The camper should be bigger, but you know, the camper's not bigger, so we're going to roll with it. Anyhow, so here's like the beginning, and then we're going to put some landscaping. We're going to put in some plants, and then we'll accessorize with all the fun little trinkety pieces. So this is what we got so far. Stay tuned. Alright, so here is the house with a tree. We planted the tree. And then there's little fairy girl over here hanging out on her bench. Some critters, okay, hanging out by the house. I always wear flip-flops, so anytime I can put flip-flops in my fairy house, or my fairy gardens, they're in there. Here's our little woodsy area. We got some bushy stuff growing out behind the camper, okay? And here's this plant that I sacrificed, or not sacrificed, I saved from the last one. And I put some pieces of that in there and a little gnome. Okay, there's a turtle back there, and here's our fire pit. Alright. And then we come over to this side, and there's our fairy girl taking a little rest on the bench with her kitty cat. I love this plant right here. I think this is so cool. I don't know what it's going to do as it grows up, but it's going to be awesome. My fairy is apparently a gardener, so she's got her garden, little wagon there and some flowers she's watering or picking or something. I don't know. The gazebo. Alright, the gazebo with the little fairy, and we got some cats hanging out over there. And I love this plant. I just can hardly wait to see what that plant does as it keeps blooming and whatnot. So we come over this way a little bit, and we got a wizard in there, and the arbor with a fairy, and she's got some plants here. So yeah. And then there's a little puppy dog down here. He's getting in the shadow of my camera. There he is. There's the puppy dog, and there's some plants, and a little sign here, "Be my love bug." And she's sitting there, she's watering her plants. So they're all gardeners. All my fairies are gardeners, they love plants. So there it is. Let's zoom out a little bit so maybe you can see the whole thing. And that's the first one. It's so much fun, you guys. Just go buy stuff and play with it. I mean, I messed with things. I moved things around a bit, but it is so much fun. So, fairy garden, #1. Thanks for watching. See you later.